Alright, what's up, world? Welcome. Oh, that's fuck crooked. Nah. What's up, world? Welcome to the Willkie Way. So, a lot of people have been asking me about what are my plans for the business? Or what are the plans for the gym? Are you getting it? How's it going? What's happening? Blah. Fill you all in. What's been happening over these last couple weeks? We hadn't seen a big push in it from the owner. We thought he would get our utilities and information for us. That way we could walk in and he would have all that information, be like, hey, this is what it costs per month to be in there, all that. So, but basically a month went by, nothing happened. He said, there's a couple excuses here and there, but regardless, nothing happened. And we had sat down and he had said that there's gonna be a bunch of costs for him to start out in just mainly switching the utilities. So what we did was I just called Hydro. I just called them. I was like, yo, I'm asking questions. Like I wanna start leasing this building, a commercial building. I have all these questions. What happens with the old tenant? What happens with us? Is there any costs? Blah, blah. Long story short, no cost to go into a new place. If you're in a commercial area, they told me that you'd have to pay a deposit unless you set up an account where they could auto withdraw every month. Then they don't require a deposit because you can't burn them when they got your bank information. It was like, wow, like no way. That's how easy it was, 10 minutes. And they were able to tell us our average, like the average hydro bill, average gas bill. We were able to map all that out. And the only thing they weren't able to tell us, because it was again a little too specific, was exactly the average in the summer versus the average in the winter. They could just tell us the average of the 12, so whatever. Went back into a meeting with the landlord and super hyped about it. And then he just kind of like, it was almost like he had some resistance, wasn't really feeling it. And that was kind of like, it was kind of like a what moment. And he had said nothing had changed. So he had really harped on that he wanted a plan. So what Tom and I have been doing these last week or so, about a week ago. What Tom and I have been doing the last week has been creating a business plan. So we've been like writing down every checklist that we have, everything that we've talked about, because we've been talking about this for so long that we have so many plans and so many progress, like how we're gonna brand, how we're gonna advertise, how we're gonna do this, right? Like they just come out. So we actually started putting them on paper in an order. So we have 4 tiers. We have what's gonna happen beforehand. So what we figured that has to happen before we take control is we have to start our own business. Like we have to start our own incorporation. You could do it under a personal, but then that gets a little hairy and the taxes work a little differently. And it's just way easier for us to start off that way, especially since we're partners in it. So we figured that in the month of March, this is the month that we have to do that. In April, we could start figuring out more of the details of the systems and how we're gonna get the locks, all that stuff. And we're just making the plan, assuming we would take it May 1st. Now, who knows if we're actually going to? Who knows if we even get it at this point? But we're still making the plan, a hard plan for May 1st, because before it's been like, hey, as soon as you're ready, man, as soon as you're ready. But now it's like, fuck it, we're going in. Like that's just we're doing it May 1st. That's when we're doing it. If not, we're out. Like that's just kind of the position we're in because can't handle like the uncertainty, and it's just I don't know, it's a loser mentality is what it is. It's not something that we're able to do. However, we're actually happy with the opportunity so far, because although he's been almost reluctant, it's given us the clarity, the patience. The patience was huge. I'm patient, but like I really didn't realize or appreciate how much patience I would have needed. And this is a huge learning curve for me, because if we were able to get it right away, we might have been a little fucked, because we would have been figuring out the incorporation stuff as we're running the gym. Would have been a little harder. This way we're able to step back, have nothing at risk, and just fly from there. So we actually have really good plans for coming up, how to develop relationships with the community. That's a huge thing. Our vision for the business so far has been... All right, got a phone call, but whatever, we're riding. As I was saying before, the vision for our business right now is we really are stressed on community. We're really into the idea that the gym's been there for 30 years. It's amazing. There's all these corporate companies coming in, Snap, Anytime, with these really clean cut, ultra clean professional gyms, which, no offense to them, but they suck. Actually, I haven't been to Anytime. Snap sucked. Why does Snap suck? Mainly, it's just small. It's just too small. I think it's really valuable for anybody who wants to do cardio or the particular machines they have, but in terms of like big heavy lifts, they don't have that option. There's not any room to do them. I remember trying to do deadlifts. It was rough. Their squat bar, actually, it's got the auto rails in it, like they're just built in, and that is like, I can't go as deep as I'd like. So there's a lot of like little problems with it that Snap has. But our vision for what the gym would look like is more of an underground, rugged look, but still clean. I'm not saying it's not clean, but I want like artwork on the walls, like the more darker tones, with our equipment all being white, but our darker tones with some murals on the wall, maybe some kind of graffiti art that looks really clean. Things like that in the main weight room. And then in the studio, we can have more of a, it could be that same dark color, but with more clean, crisp lines within it. Mainly because that's going to be a space that boot camps are going to be run in. Like there could be yoga studio in there. There's a lot of things we could do with that space. And we want it to be more neutral, not just like some fucking rugged, like a rugged tagged room and then people are doing yoga in it. Like that's not what we're looking for that room. But I think in how Selkirk is as a place, we're more rugged. We're more, like you look at all the people coming out of high school in Selkirk, like it's different from the city. It's so different. Like we're rugged. We're raw. Like, and I think we really appreciate those underground areas, those Selkirk only areas, or those Manitoba. Like look at 204 for example. So. I'm really excited about the gym and about getting in there, and we've already identified several problems that we need to address, but there's a couple things we need to also figure out before we get in there, because I'm not paying rent if the roof's gonna fall away. So yeah, and I'm fucking late for my doctor's appointment. Okay. Almost late for my doctor's appointment. Ran in there. Thank God there was nobody else waiting, because I definitely would have lost a spot. But I made it on time. Then I went over to Tom's house, and what we did from there was I just showed him what I had so far in the plan, and it's about 12, 13 pages, and it really details in 4 tiers. So there's what we're gonna do from March and April, and if we take it over, as I said, in May 1st, to what we're doing from May 1st all the way to August, and then from August, so that was tier 2, so then August to December is tier 3, and tier 4 is the next year, so January to the next December. That way we can align our budgets, and we're able to start doing it in phases, rather than just saying like, oh, we want to do this, oh, we want to do that, oh, we want to do this. This way we're able to actually be like, okay, well, we're in this 3-month phase of just building the inside up, like renovating in the inside, and if whoever has their membership right now can stay around there, we could sign them up. But our official open date for like the public, I guess, like where we're pushing advertising, that's coming later in tier 3, where we can help build the hype and show all the pictures that we had beforehand. So right now, we hash through that and we decide, you know what, like I think that's pretty much it. For needing to plan anything else. There's a couple things that we can plan later in late tier 3, but we're a little far from that right now. So we have them all in jot notes just so we don't forget. So right now the next step for us is, we called the water people. They gave us the estimates, 215, unless we go over the I think it's 60 cubic meters, and then after that we're good, and it's like $3.20. So right now, the next step for us is just calling a lawyer. We looked at the incorporation documents, how much it costs. You have to reserve a name, but then if the name's taken, you have to pay again and then try again. It's like, man, you know how many times you fuck shit up? Like you get things wrong on, like when you're trying to make a new account on something, and then you're like, yeah, darkness 09, sick. But then it's like, oh, it's taken. Oh, you're okay. Puddin 09. You're like, yeah, I love the 9. And it's like, oh, it's taken. It's like, man, does everyone love 9? Like, what is going on? You have to put all these numbers. It's confusing. Hopefully it's not like that, because that's a waste of a lot of money. But it was recommended by an accountant that I called previously to help us like decide on what kind of business plan we should go with in terms of like, are we going to incorporate? Is it like a partnership, sole proprietorship? Like, I don't know what those are really. And he advised me just go to a lawyer and we want to incorporate. So that's our next step, is to incorporate. Therefore, when we actually go to take it over May 1st, we can put the utilities, we could put all our rent payments, we could put everything under that corporation. That way, if it takes the liability off of us, if you know something would happen with inside, like if there was any kind of liability claim, like obviously we would have insurance as well, but it would help take the claim off of us personally. And it just gives us a lot more flexibility when we want to like sell products and anything like that, assuming we even decide to do that at some point. But yeah, real pumped about it, because we have such little left, it seems like, but we still have to convince the landlord. Like I'm hoping, like our hope is that we drop this 12, 13, 14, 15 page document down with our detailed plans, because it's like in paragraphs, our detailed plans, and then he'll be like, yeah, like this is a great idea, like let's go for it. We've already got companies that we can get for the roofing, the locks changed, the options on that, so many things that go into it. And I'm actually really happy that we broke it down into tiers, because it just makes it way easier to manage and way easier to understand on like what we need to do at this point in our business. So moving forward, in other businesses I'll have, that is definitely something that I will implement. It's valuable. It's invaluable, actually, I should say, because it just puts you in a frame of mind that you wake up and you're like, all right, we're in tier 1. Like, what have I haven't done? Like, there's the checklist. Boom, boom, boom. Like, call the utility people. Like, call a lawyer. All this stuff. And then like tier 2, you come in and like the biggest portion I feel when people get excited about an idea is they have so many, like they're like, oh, we can market to these guys. Oh, we could do this deal. Oh, we could do this. And like they lose sight almost of what the main thing they need to do to start is. And that really just organizes your thoughts. And when you have those sporadic thoughts, you just punch them in, and then you put them in the respective tiers, and you're laughing, boy. Woo! All right, well, I'm gotta go to work, so hopefully I'm not late for that either. Hope I haven't been talking for like 30 minutes. Yeah, I didn't have time, put a shirt on, whatever. Plus, like, those work shirts, they're like so unflattering. They come like to here, you can't see the gains, you can't see anything, so. All right, well, I might shoot some little video after. We'll see. Deuces.